Okay, so we will start with unit number 5. At the beginning, I will tell you that if there is problem with the audio or something, so please give a call on my number 9175899766. And as I'm told that unit number 5 has started, that is curve fitting and regression analysis. These are the contents, and as per the syllabus, it requires 8 hours to complete all the contents. And we will start with Lagrange's interpolation method. So, what is interpolation? So, from the word inter, we can easily guess that for a given data set, for example, the minimum value is 0 and maximum value is, let's say, 100, then some discrete data points, if they are available between 0 and 100, then we can find out the value, any intermediate value, if we have the relationship. So with the interpolation method, we can find out intermediate value. And in the mathematical field of numerical analysis, interpolation is a type of estimation, a method of constructing a new data points within the range of discrete set of known data points. So discrete values will be given to you, and generally the x value and corresponding y value will be given to you. And if you want to know the any intermediate value of y for given x, then with the help of interpolation you can do that. In engineering and science, one often has a number of data points obtained by sampling or experimentation. For example, if you are continuously monitoring the height of a tree after its plantation, so every month you can measure the height of that tree. And first month there will be some value, second month there will be some value, third month there will be some value. And if you are interested to know what is the height of that plant at the end of 2.5 months, so such type of problems can be solved by using interpolation method. So this is how we collect the data and find out the intermediate values. And that represents the value of a function for a limited number of values of the independent variables. And why I'm saying in limited number of values, because take an example of a uh, cast iron material. You prepared a specimen and you want to test it on a universal testing machine for knowing its ultimate tensile strength value. So practically it is very difficult to manufacture many components and test on the universal testing machine. So instead of that, what we will do, we'll prepare 10, 20 or 30 samples as per our budget, and these samples will be tested on the universal testing machine, and whatever uh, values you will be getting or the strength you will be getting for that sample, you are taking the mean of that and saying that for population that ultimate tensile strength value will be true. So generally, due to cost consideration or limitations, we have limited data points. And what generally we do, okay, am I audible to you? Okay, so we estimate the values and we get the readings from the values and draw some valuable conclusion. For example, in this table, the values of y corresponding to x are given, where x takes the value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and for each value of x, corresponding value of y is given, where y is a function of x. And in interpolation, we may be interested to know what is the value of y when x is 2.5. So such type of problems can be solved by using interpolation. Yes, yes. Do you have any question? Hello. Do you have any question? Not. Oh, I'm not audible to you. Am I audible? Okay. Now am I audible? Am I audible now? Okay. I understood. Actually, the charging level is low. So is it fine now? Am I audible now? Yes. Okay. So I will go back to presentation. Yeah. So if you have a data set as given in the table, the values of x and y are given, and you may be interested to know the value of y when x is equal to 2.5. And this is the problem of interpolation, and you may be using any method such as Lagrange's method or Newton's forward interpolation and inverse interpolation and estimate the value of y for value of x. So how you can do it? First of all, you need to plot the values of x and y which is given to you as a coordinates, and in the figure you can see it is shown by. Okay, so what you will do, you will plot x and y values as a coordinates on this, and you will draw a polynomial. And once you draw polynomial, its equation will be available, or that model will be available with you. And once that model will be available, using that equation, you can find out the value of y for any given value of x. Now we will see how Lagrange's interpolation and works and its general equation. So if y is a function of x and that takes the value of y naught, y1 up to yn corresponding to the values of x, x naught, x1 up to xn. So total data points that we have is n plus 1. Then for these data points, this is the general equation for Lagrange's interpolation. And for understanding purpose, what I did, I divided the whole equation into different segments, and each segment is highlighted by different color. And when we look at this equation, it seems that equation is very long, and how to remember it? So you need to memorize. So there are some tricks that we will be using. So first trick is, see, in each segment you will see y0, y1 up to yn. So total number of segments will be n. Total number of data points are n plus 1, but total number of segments equal to n. This is the first trick. Second thing is that when there is a y0, then you may find that there is no bracket in which the term x minus x naught is there. And similarly, in the denominator, you will see in each bracket the first term is x naught. So what we can do, we can write a general or complete equation. For example, let's see the first segment. So f of x is equal to x minus x naught, x minus x1, x minus x2 up to x minus xn divided by x minus x naught, x naught minus x1, x naught minus x2 up to x naught minus xn into yn. So in this general segment, the result of x naught minus x naught will be 0. So the whole term will become 0. So what you need to do, remove x naught minus x naught from first term, and the remaining term you can see in the general equation, that is equation number 1. Similarly, you need to remove the term x minus x naught from the first segment. So remaining will be the first segment, and that you will find in equation number 1. So then in next segment, what you need to do, as here you can see y1, so remove x minus x1 and x1 minus x1. So remaining terms you can see in second segment. Similarly, for nth segment, if there is a yn, then you just remove x minus xn and xn minus xn. So remaining term you will see for nth segment. So this is how you need to remember this equation, and this is the generalized equation when the number of data sets equal to n plus 1. Now for a given problem, if there are only 3 data points, then you need to restrict your equation up to second term, that is first segment y0 and second segment y1. So in this way you can understand this equation and memorize this equation. And equation 1 is the generalized equation of Lagrange's interpolation, and it is for unequal intervals. So what is unequal intervals? So if this is the data points with u, then if you take the difference between the two successive values and compare these values, then these answers will not remain same. So here the difference is 1 and here the difference is 4. So they are not equal intervals. So if in the problem, if it is asked that find out the value of x, value of y when x is equal to 7, let's say 7, then first of all check whether the data points are equispaced or not. If the unequal intervals are there, then you can say that this problem can be solved by using Lagrange's interpolation. So sometimes such type of tricky questions may be asked. Now we will see one small proof for this. Let y is function of f of x, which takes the value x naught, y naught, x1, y1 up to xn, yn. So total number of data points equal to n plus 1, and which can represent fx by a polynomial in x of degree n. So if there are n plus 1 data points, so the degree of that equation will be n. So let this polynomial be in the form of, so this will be your function y is equal to f of x, where a naught is the first coefficient, a1 is the second coefficient, and similarly an will be your nth coefficient, and it is multiplied by x minus x1, x minus x2, x minus xn. And here again you will see there is no term x minus x naught, as the first coefficient is a naught, so you should not write a term x minus x naught. Similarly, in the second segment, as the term is a1, so you will not find a term here x minus x1. So this is how we write the equation. Then here we want to find out the values of the coefficient a naught, a1 up to an. So first put x is equal to x naught and y is equal to y naught in equation number 2. We get y naught is equal to y becomes y naught, a naught remain as it is. Just replace x by x naught everywhere, and the simplified equation will have only 3 brackets that are in multiplication with a naught, and all remaining brackets will be 0. Why it will be 0? Because when you put x is equal to x naught, this term will become 0. Again, all remaining terms will become 0. So y naught is equal to, you will get some equation, and that equation can be rewrite to get the value of a naught, and this is the value of a naught. Similarly, if you put x is equal to x1, y is equal to y1 in equation number 2, you will get second coefficient a1, and in this way, putting different values of for x and y, you can find out all coefficients, and again put all these coefficients back in equation number 2, and when you do that, you will get the generalized Lagrange's equation f of x is equal to x minus x1 into x minus x2 up to x minus xn divided by x naught minus x1 into x naught minus x2 up to x naught minus xn into y naught plus blah blah blah, all other values. So this is the general equation. Now what we will do, we will try to solve some numerical, and we will come to know how this can be used for solving the problems. But before that, for equation number 1, if you divide both sides of the equation by this term, then you will get this another simplified equation. Sometime in the numerical, similar type of equation may be given to you. So in whatever values will be there in the numerator, that will be your f of x, and the values which will be given in the denominator, so you can find out the value of x0, x1, x, and that we will see in the problem as well. So we'll start with problem number 1. The values are given for x. So total number of data points 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So total number of data points here are 5, and for each value of x, the f of x is also given. and you are asked to find out the value of y, that is f of 9 when x is 9 using Lagrange's formula. So first step while solving the numerical is write down the given data. So x0 is 5, x1 is 7, x2 is 11, x3 is 13, x4 is 17. Then y0 is 150, y1, y2, y3 and y4. These values are there. And why you need to write down the given data? Because when you write that formula and try to put the values into that equation, many times students do the mistake and you will get a wrong result. So that's why you need to write down all the given values and along with their notation at the beginning. Then the second step is to write down the Lagrange's equation for given data sets, because previously the equation was very general and now you need to write down only for given data sets. So here total number of data points equal to 5. So your last term will have y4 only, because total number of segments equal to 4 when data points equal to 5. So this is the equation that we wrote for a given data set. So you can see the first term only, remaining terms you can easily prepare, that is f of x is equal to x minus x1, x minus x2, x minus x3 up to x minus x4, because there are total 5 data points. So that's why we will go up to x4, divided by x0 minus x1, x0 minus x2, x0 minus x3 into x0 minus x4 into y0. And similarly for second term, you can write when there is a y1, you just remove the term x minus x1, and in the denominator, the star in each bracket, the first term will be x1. So in this way, you can write down the formula for given data set. Then in that equation, put x is equal to 9 as we are interested in f of 9, and all the values x0 to x4 and y0 to y4. So here you can see the x is replaced by 9 and x1, x2, x3 are replaced by their corresponding values, and y0, y1, y2 are replaced by their corresponding values, and if you simplify you will get 110 as an answer. So this is how you need to solve the problem. First of all, read the problem carefully, find out how many data points are there, then give the notation and write the value in front of that. So first of all, write down the given data. This is the first step. Second step, based on the number of data points, you need to prepare the equation. Once you prepare that equation, then put the value of x for which you are interested in f of x, and all the values of x0, x1, y0, y1, all the things, and solve the problem and you will get the solution. So these are the 3-4 steps you need to follow in order to get the solution. But while solving the problem, if you try to skip one of the step, then there is a chance that you may lose mark, or there is also another chance that if you skip any step, then your calculations may be wrong and you may get a wrong answer. So make sure that step by step you are solving the problem. Do you have any question related to this problem? If you have, we can discuss that and then we can proceed. So please, if you have any question, you can ask. Okay, if there is no question, then we can continue with second problem. Meanwhile, I will check once again whether I'm online or not. Okay, I'm still online. Okay, so this is the second problem, and this is also a little bit similar to problem number one. Find the missing term in the following table using interpolation, and the data points are given. But the key thing is that in this problem, it is not mentioned that you need to use Lagrange's interpolation method. So you need to first of all find out which is the suitable method. So for that, what we need to do, we need to check the values of x. So 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And in this table for 3, the value of y is not given. So generally what students do, they think that it is equispaced, that is, if you take the difference between two successive values, then the answer is same. So they think that Lagrange's method is not suitable here, but that is not the case, because you need to find out the value of y when x is equal to 3. So this is your unknown value. So when you consider it as a data set, so you need to skip this data point, and here your x naught will be 0, x1 will be 1, x2 will be 2, and x3 will be 3, and you need to consider this as a unknown point. And in that case, you can easily realize that you need to use Lagrange's interpolation formula. So first step again, start with given data points. So x naught 0, x1 1, x2 2, and x4 4. Sorry, x3 4. Corresponding y naught, y1, y2, and y3 values you can write. And unknown is unknown is y, and that you need to find out for x is equal to 3. Now in this case, total data points are equal to 4. Sorry, I guess I did one. Okay, so you need to write down the values equation, then put the values and prepare the equation in terms of x. So here x is equal to 3 you need to put in order to get the value of y. So put the values and simplify it. The answer you will get is 3. So generally in this problem, what I'm trying to tell you is that this problem is similar to previous problem, but here you need to find out which is suitable method to solve this problem. So we came to know that Lagrange's method is the suitable method. Again, here you need to find out the value of y for x is equal to 3. So you should not consider this as a data point. So for remaining, you need to do the process. And again, while deriving this equation, first of all, try to write the equation in terms of x only, because sometimes the question may be asked, find out value of y when x is equal to 3. Again, second sub question may be there, find out the value of y when x is equal to 3.5. So if you have a simplified equation, so just put x is equal to 3, get the solution. Again, put x is equal to 3.5 and get the solution. This is another problem, and here you can see that The method is mentioned. You need to use Lagrange's formula and find out f of 3. And how many data points are there? 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you can write down the given data, then write down the Lagrange's equation for the given data, put all the values and try to convert this complicated equation into a simplified equation, that is f of x is equal to x cube plus x square minus x plus 2, and then put x is equal to 3 to get the answer. If you have this general equation, you can easily find out the value of f of x at any value of x. So the simple change between example 2 and example 1 is that here you wrote the equation of y, putting all the values excluding x, and you keep that as it is. You didn't try to simplify this equation, because if sometimes if you try to simplify, then equation will become very complicated. But sometimes it is possible to simplify that equation and you can write as a very simple equation. And once you get that equation, put any value of x and find out f of x. This is example number 4, and in this example the question is asked in a different way. So the question is, a curve passes through the points 0, 18, 110, 3 minus 18, 6, 19. Find the slope of the curve at x is equal to 2. So in each bracket, two terms are given. So first value will be your x and second one will be your y. So in this bracket, this will be your x naught and this will be your y naught. Similarly, x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y2. So just write down the given data. Now, if you have a given data, you can write down the equation. So this is your equation. Then put all the known values in that equation and simplify. You will get y is equal to 2x cube minus 10x square plus 18. And what is asked? You are asked to calculate the slope of the curve at x is equal to 2. And whenever we know that when we want to get know the slope, then you just take a derivative of this equation, that is dy by dx, and whatever simplified equation you will get, just replace x by 2. So 2x cube, its derivative is 6x square, minus the derivative of 10x square is 20x, and the 18 will become 0. And then put x is equal to 2, you will get answer equal to 16. So two things are there. The data points may be given in a different format. Second important thing is, again in this problem, the method is not mentioned. So you need to find out which method you need to use. For that, you will check the values x0, x1, x2 and x3. That will help you to decide which method you can use here. And again, you must know that when you want to find out the slope, what you need to do. So here, if you want to get a slope, you need to take the derivative. So these are the tricks for this problem. Now, example number 5. Here, the formula that you need to use is given and expression is given in a different format. So in one of the slides where the note was there, so there we saw that, yes, the Lagrange's equation can be modified and can be rewritten f of x divided by x minus x naught into x minus x1 up to x minus and equal to so many terms are there. So what we need to do, we need to compare that equation with this equation. So we can easily say that the y is equal to 3x square plus x plus 1 and y is equal to f of x. So you can rewrite that equation, and from this bracket you can say that x naught is 1, x1 is 2 and x2 is 3. And when you put x naught equal to 1 in this equation, you will get y naught. X is equal to 2 in this equation, you will get y1, and x is equal to 3 in this equation, you will get y2. So this is the way to find out the values of x and y. But for that you need to compare this equation with the equation that we discussed a few minutes before. And then the next steps are very simple. You need to write down the equation, put the values and simplify. So this is the simplified equation. But here what is asked? A sum of partial fractions. So you need to again, y is equal to this equation, you need to simplify it in the given format, that is partial fraction. So just divide this equation by uh, x minus x1 into x minus x2 into x minus x3, and right side of that equation you need to simplify, and you will get 2.5 divided by x minus 1 plus minus 15 upon x minus 2 plus 15.5 upon x minus 3. So just separate different terms and write them in terms of partial fraction. So this is the trick how to solve this type of problem. Now this is the last example, and what we need to do in this problem we will discuss briefly. Find the distance moved by a particle and its acceleration at the end of 4 seconds if the time versus velocity data is given. So in all previous problem there was a value of x and y. So just x and y are replaced by time and velocity. So this will be T1, sorry, T naught, T1, T2 and T3. Similarly, V naught 21, V1 15, V2 12 and V3 10. And for these values, just write down Lagrange's formula, put all the values and simplify the equation, and you will get the velocity equal to 1 by 12 into bracket minus 5t cube plus 38t square minus 105t plus 252. So this will be the resultant equation or polynomial that you have for this given data set. And what is asked? You need to find out the distance moved by the particle, and we know that when velocity is known, then the velocity can be expressed as the rate of change of displacement with respect to time. So v is equal to ds by dt. So just simplify this equation and integrate and solve, you will get distance moved by the particle. So if you integrate this equation, then displacement s is equal to integration 0 to 4 v into dt. So again we know v is equal to this very long equation, just replace it, take integration and simplify, you will get the distance moved by the particle, and the answer is 54.9. Similarly, the second question is you need to find out its acceleration at the end of 4 seconds. So we know that when velocity is given, then we can find out acceleration, that is the rate of change of velocity with respect to time. So simply you need to take a derivative of this equation, and after taking derivation you just need to simplify, put the value t is equal to 4, and you will get acceleration is equal to minus 3.4. So that's it for today's session. Okay, do you, if you have any question, just ask.